place wants to drown me. I'm losing myself. I have to fight it. I have to remember. The clicker. The light switch. I lost it. But I have the lamp now. The lamp the switch was cut from. This place is a nightmare. Not real, and yet more real than anything. The danger and the horror are real. It shades out my mind. Twisting whatever it takes into psychotic reality. I'm trapped here. I write to escape. I've tried this many times, written countless stories, forgotten how many. I keep failing, but I must keep trying. I use the story to dive deeper. Every word I write is a step forward on this spiral into darkness. I dive to the bottom to find the answer, the map and the key, the compass, that's combined to form a door leading out. But how do you open a door that's not a door? At the bottom of an ocean that's not an ocean, and a lake that's not a lake. Time is broken here. Maybe time never worked the way we think it does. It loops around, and yet it goes forward. A spiral. I thought I was finding remnants of the earlier loops, earlier drafts of my writing. The murder sites, that I had left clues, mementos for myself to guide me on, but maybe that's only part of it. If time is not a straight line, then there are loops beyond these loops. Vast complex superstructures beyond what's happening to me now, ahead of me. And I'm there as well, a version of me, something I have become, some elevated, enlightened virgin, an archon, a demiurge, a demon of some sort, playing a secret game, building something, his past self a pawn to get him there. A deus ex machina pushing me there. I hate the idea, a crazy, intrusive thought. And yet, no crazier than anything else here. I'm a writer. I write. Writing is the key. Art is the key to find my way out of the dark place.
Oh, I remember
Don't forget this. Don't you fucking forget this. I'm in the dark place. I'm outside time and space. Outside reality. But this is real. A nightmare dimension. An ocean of darkness. Remember, its dark energy can make art come true. Make dreams and nightmares come true. Yes, I can use this. I need to use this. Hungry, monstrous things out there, plotting to stop me, to devour me, become me. Oh
no. Yeah, so he's wearing the clothing from American Nightmare, Alan Wake 1.5, which is a rubbish game, by the way. I don't like. The combat's a lot better, but like the plot is a bit rubbish. But the conceit of that, which Yahtzee from Zero Punctuation seemed to completely miss, was that it's an episode of the of Night Springs. He also, because in his review for Alan Wake 2, he says you don't have to play it. But not only does it factor into the plot, like the phrase "Champion of Light" comes from Alan Wake's Nightmare. Like that's the name of the episode that and it's a previous attempt of him getting out of the dark place. And the song "I'm a Psycho, I'm a Psycho" comes from that game, and it's stupid as fuck in that game because it's the game that shows off Scratch the most, because Scratch doesn't really do much in the first game. When in the original game, when you first get into the dark place, Thomas Zane is just like, yeah, he's just gonna be you while you're gone, and you're like, wait, what? And it doesn't remark upon it because it's just a future plot idea. And like in a dark place, he's just like you as a serial killer, and he's just like a psycho. And in this game, Scratch is just you with the dark presence inside. But you wear it, like when he gets out, he's wearing the American Nightmare costume. But like at the end of American Nightmare, there's a happy ending. And it zooms out, and it's a billboard, and it's just not real. It's just obviously not a real thing. All he did was try him out an episode of television, and it didn't work. And Yahtzee sort of like got annoyed because he's like, well, you wrote a happy ending. It's like, that wasn't real. That's like it says at the start of American Nightmare that this is all a dream. None of this is real. And then he says, oh yeah, and then this game pretends that didn't happen. It's like, no, it did happen. It references things from... Anyway, like, but I really like the context of them reusing the I'm a Psycho song, but for the two writers taking drugs and going on a binge. A thing I really enjoy is that you can. I watched today a review of Dexter, because I stopped watching Dexter about 3 episodes into series 5, and as far as I was known, I had no reason to come back because I hadn't heard any good reviews. But I'm told series 10 Resurrection is really good, and I might actually watch it. It's because there's 8 series, and then there's New Blood, and then there's Resurrection. That's awesome rubbish. But I'm told, but like a good writer can just like bring you back in. It doesn't matter. Like you can have a chunk of awful writing, but just a clever writer can get past that. And yeah, sometimes that might just involve just retconning things or just conveniently not thinking about certain things. But it's just funny that you can just sort of passively accept bad sections and then you still use them in a way that makes your stories good.
The memory is fading like a dream. I must hold on to it. I remember an awful beacon in the darkness, the scene of a ritualistic murder site in the subway tunnels. Is it a previous draft of my writing? Must be. I've been trying to shape the dark place around me, but so much fades away. Even my memory of the process, washed away by dark waves. But some things remain. The darkest, nastiest elements, like the murder site. It's my goal, a stepping stone to travel deeper to escape. Write a narrative that takes me there. Casey will lead me to it. The dark presence is out there. It's hunting me. Its spies are always watching. It's trying to catch me. I think it did, more than once. It's stealing from me. Stealing my identity. It wants to be me. Replace me. Twisted version of me. Scratch. Mr. Scratch. It's slithering into the story. Once it's in the story, I have to use it to keep the story true. Again, I have to make the story darker now. But that gives it power. That's bad. I don't want that. But I have no choice. It's an arms race. All right, now keep it together. Damn it. I'll be the first one to cross the finish line. I have to beat the devil at his own game.
Okay, I can't find the video that it doesn't seem to be available. But there's one where all it is, it's him ranting, going crazy, and every single line from the rant is just what the ghosts say. And there's a bit which says, "I write and I write and I write," and then him just saying, "Alan Wake." Anyway, I've indulged it. I was really surprised that there's a guy called Donkey who does funny videos. And Donkey definitely does understand the plot to Alan Wake, which, like, I mean, I'm not saying like he's above understanding plots. I just didn't think he'd be the type to enjoy Alan Wake. But he's got a 5-minute video where he's just talking about, oh, this is Alan Wake played by this character who does this character, but he's also this character and this, and even Zero Punctuation says that like the writer Sam Lake plays 3 characters in this game, which is true, sort of. Because he plays himself, and he plays in it. I don't actually think he does play himself. He plays. Oh yeah, he definitely does play himself in the DLC. But he plays an actor called Sam Lake, who plays Casey in the movies in the game. It's not like he wasn't paying attention, but like the donkey bit where he explains this person play, and he does it as fast and confusing as possible. It's very funny and shows awareness that he definitely knows it. He understands the plot. Why did we come in here? Did I miss something? Don't already pick it up. Have you noticed that doors are always two-way in computer games? Because doors are a fucking nightmare to program. Like, even in the olden days. If you want to break your gate, having monsters go through doors is a real problematic thing as well, which is why, even in relatively new games, sometimes the monsters just don't go through doors. Because it's just a bastard. I'm not Did I climb upstairs? That's what I did. Did I just forget that I did that? No, I think he teleported. He teleported.
Wake.
Yeah, what?
Wake.
One of those bad ones?
Everyone's your stupid.
Yeah, he is. Fuck you then. Give me an empty box. Him saying, you have too many resources, I'm not giving you any more. There's something different there. I must already have. It's probably a word of power that I already have. So, because otherwise, you know why this place exists. Yeah, okay. It was a magic. Magic floor. I hope I'm not intruding.
Shit! Grab these motherfuckers! How is it? It's a monster!
Fuck. Quite dangerous, aren't they? Bum 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 ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum bum bum.
The shadows were gone. Or just out of sight.
Just like a lumberjack. Yeah, I should be using the grenades more often, shouldn't I?
This is where they gathered before the play. This is where it began.
It says question mark as if there is something there. The rehearsal room.
scene here had changed.
Why set up a play in a hotel? Why this hotel?
Because the rent is cheap? No. The Oceanview was perfect for this. It's said to be haunted. Dark stories about murder, death, suicide. Supposedly, an actual cult once performed an unspeakable ritual to summon something in the ballroom. Did we summon the same thing? Tapped into something horrifying? It seemed like it was part of the play, but it wasn't. Does that sound crazy?
You don't want to ask me about crazy, kid.
A haunted hotel. Yes. That's a trope for a reason.
Came back haunted. Prominent use of the colour yellow here for the play. Dark Sleeper. They're both in there. No cult was there. They had taken over the play.
I didn't have the key.
we get into the hallway? There's the 101 key. It's the 209 key. Have I just not explored that part of the hallway? Or was there stuff in the way? Coffee in the big time? Yeah, I just straight up didn't explore a bit of the map. Casper!
This is Dr. Casper Darling, formerly of the Federal Bureau of Control. I think this signal is coming through now. Are you receiving me?
Yay!
Something shifted. The previously observed interference disrupting my broadcast has gone. Fluctuation in gravitational forces. Either something moved out of the way or my relative position to it changed. But the alignment or the condition of this whole plane spiraled to a more favorable position.
Get on with it, Casper, we have limited time.
The ordinary rules of reality do not apply here. Best I can describe, this place is a dreamscape. But who's the dreamer? And how do you wake up from this dream? I've been taking readings with the limited equipment I've been able to secure. Some riveting data accumulating. Hypotheses taking shape. My struggle with this is that the way this place works makes any hypothesis immediately come back to alter and contaminate the data. Anyway, I've been working to capture, isolate, and amplify certain frequencies from the background radiation ambient noise, so let's see what happens. Leads me to believe it's what's holding this place together. It's making it real. Is this the voice of the dreamer? What's strange is it sounds a little bit like my voice.
And yeah, that is the Alan Wake voice actor. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's brand new. So he ascended in Control. Control pretends for a while that he's the baddie, like the guy who caused all of this, but it's actually Trench that did. Trench let the signal in, the hiss. Whereas he ascended to a higher plane, which is where he is now. I know I could have just looked up that video. But I assume there's more going on in Game Plus. Easter eggs. Oh yes, so there's an overlap in Control. I know certain people do agree with me, I don't know if everyone does, but there's a bit in Control where you think you've lost the game. You've been, Jessie's been entirely not taken by the hiss, and she's in a nightmare escape where she thinks she's an intern. What gets her out is a song. She imagines the song, but the song is being played by it's a music video with Casper Darling in, and I always thought those both happened. Casper Darling at some point realised he needed to make the song, and she imagined it to be true. And I know those are contradictory, and I think they're both true. I think that's how the logic works. And I want it to be true because I love the idea that the head scientist of like this institute was like, okay, it's going to be very difficult to explain. Get our plastic guitars, find a VHS, find a video recorder. We're going to need to record a music video. It will make sense eventually. We all know Jesse's dynamite. Locked door, but is that a locked door?
It could not be opened on the side.
The darkness is coming!
Oh, it's him again. There's a review of Alan Wake that points out that all the taken in Alan Wake 1 are like gas station attendants and fishermen, and they're all poor people. It's just like, because he's a hack writer, right? So all the things that scare him are like having to interact with, because he's middle class, right? He's a famous writer, so he's having to interact with poor people.
I needed to find the key.
Oh, it's an interesting take. I'd really consider that.
The ballroom would be the stage of a key scene in the play.
Room 101. Watched a video recently, which is why does everyone think 1984 is a room? Yeah, it looked like so It must have taken a little bit of restraint not to make it look like the Shining Hotel, but the bathrooms do look like Shining bathrooms. With, like, the green tiles. I'd have to double check. I get that vibe. I don't mind people using the carpet from The Shining, but you can't say, here's a spooky hotel, and then put the carpet from The Shining in. That's a little bit on the nose. So, like, I appreciate it being ever so slightly more subtle. Appreciate it.
The scene changed with the story. The cult in the play was called the Cult of the Tree. With their deer masks, they were the backwoods echo of the cult of the word's urban horror.
But yeah, that's a... But we now know the Cult of the Tree wasn't evil. They're specifically the lamplighters. They're like a version of the lamplighters. The lamplighters evolved into the Cult of the Tree bit. The lamplighters were the role that Lady of the Light was doing in the first game. They're trying to help out Alan the any way they can. They just don't necessarily know the rule. Alan does. And of course, they couldn't have been in the books. Alan wrote these stories. When the fuck did Alan write these stories? Because as far as I knew, Alan Wake 1 universe, he only wrote the Alex Casey series. I was a little bit confused about that as well, but like... Oh, they would have been the Alex Casey story, wouldn't they? Okay, that makes sense. Right, yeah. But the Cult of the Word couldn't be. Anyway, let's change that. Dark ritual in the haunted hotel to summon the star.
It's getting real, all right. I recognized my writer's room on the stage. I almost dreaded the ideas this would conjure up.
Nice. What was the nice set you got here? What was the scene in this room?
Well, this is what we call the writer's room. In the play, it's where the devil rewrites reality whilst God is asleep. The devil was our star role. I got a big-time celebrity to play him, and he was method acting the role to perfection. He never broke character, always wore the cult mask. His name was scratched out on the posters.
And who was this mystery celebrity? Let me guess. Alan Wake?
I wish I could tell you, but turns out there were masks upon masks. Whoever he really was, shit got weird when he was around. Some of the crew joked that we'd actually hired the devil to play himself.
Mr. Scratch is the devil. He was born to play the role.
I had to agree with Casey on that.
The only shame is, what would be really cool is, let's say the Alex Casey books, it'd be really cool to play a Max Payne game where you did the other cases, right? But the conceit of Max Payne is he kind of just had an ordinary life until the plot of Max Payne happened. The idea that he was in a series of stories doesn't quite make sense. But, you know, they could rewrite Max. They could... you know, there's a gap. I'd love to replay the Max Payne series, but they're remaking the games. And I know playing them, you know, much like putting your washing out on the line summons the rain, replaying an old game will summon a remake. Happened a few times. I accidentally willed the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters into existence by playing 1, 2, and 3 and having it announced halfway through the fourth game. But like, what? He's an undercover FBI agent, isn't he? And before that, he's a B cop or something. Who was invited, but I was like, nah, I've got a wife and a daughter, and then they get murdered, and it's like, oh, fuck it, I'll be undercover. Like, I'm not seeing how when Alex Casey would have time to have done FBI work as well. But I also don't know anything about how the police work, so especially American. We summon the devil. The devil did what the devil does.
This was dark, but the story had to be dark.
It did.
This is not my writing. This is Scratch mocking me.
Oh, that's it. I remember now. Thomas Zane he's not just manipulating Alan Wake. He's manipulating Alan Wake. There is no Scratch. They're just both him. That's the whole point. But in this room, he will hurt her. Where's that one red key? What's that? The tilde. Till death. I mean, I could just sort of safely leave the room by just turning these guys off.
Alan Wake. Losing the words. Alan Wake.
I mean, I knew to be on stage. You don't have to punch me out of that. Yeah, we just... I think they're here now. Upstairs, obviously. This does not pause time, John.
Some are forgotten ideas. No, it's good. No, it will work. They're my inspiration elements for my story to make it more true. Even the parts that are true. I must change reality to escape. The writing has to be just right.
believe I have to go to the foyer. Actually using my shotgun, am I? The final scene is the final scene.
The devil walked through the hotel, dragging the whole place to hell with him.
Down with the devil.
The devil's path up the staircase was draped in blood.
Save room. Darn it. don't know how much I've not done. I've done. And there's containers in this valley. Coming back to 206 at some point then. 209.
Awake. I can do this. Yes. The visions I'm seeing from the world beyond this nightmare from home. They sink down to the bottom of this ocean. I catch them. Visions, echoes, big fish. Someone. Oh, it's good. No, it will work. They're my inspiration elements. The plot changed the details of the world. The devil walked through the hotel, dragging the whole place to hell with him. This was the devil. The staircase was draped in blood. I felt the presence of a new idea here.
Mr. Scratch, if that's who the actor playing the devil was, had stayed in the hotel. Asking around at reception got me a room number. 666. He had requested that room specifically. The devil had a sense of humor. Or he really didn't. It was funny either way. According to the director, the actor hadn't mingled with the rest of the cast. He had only come out for the play. And always in character.
use that as the thumbnail.
Scratch had been there. I could sense his presence lingering in the room. I was about to have another killer idea.
Let's talk about the murder victim. The lady who was killed in the climax of the play.
The leading lady. Oh, it was an honor to get to work with her. A grand dame for sure. She went back a long time. Kept insisting she had seen the long-lost original script of the play. She'd been with this mysterious writer, his muse. That was her role in the play. The muse.
She was staying in room 108, where the murder happened.
The set of the final scene, right. The devil comes, an unstoppable force crashing through the hotel through each scene, executed with devastating mastery, and all leading up to him meeting his muse. It turns out he knew her. He had only joined the play to get to her.
To murder her.
That's why I recorded it. Good night, Billy. It's only 10 o'clock. We're doing quite well for time.
The dark presence had come for me. Drawn to the story I was writing as it grew darker. The muse was the murder victim. The final scene took place in room 108. The scene had changed. Layers upon